Hello, my fellow nerds, and thanks again for watching another episode of Nerdboy Gaming. I am Nerdboy81. Well, we've got some news, and if you were waiting for a console launch this week, it's bad news. It's not ideal in any case. Ark Survival Ascended is delayed on console again. Studio Wildcard has put out an announcement that Xbox console launch has been delayed, that there's been an issue with certification, and they're having to resubmit a build. PlayStation, you're still on for the end of the month at this point, but I think you have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Let's look at the actual announcement, and let's kind of read between some of the lines here and see what we think. Xbox. Unfortunately, the certification process has yielded some unexpected issues. So, we are working with Microsoft to resubmit the build as soon as possible. We are currently targeting Ark Survival Ascended to launch early next week, and we hope to share a more precise update by the end of the week. We apologize for the added delay. We're working hard to get it out the door. PlayStation. We are directly iterating with our partners and Sony on the ASA release and are still on track for launch at the end of the month. We'll update you as we make more meaningful progress and we have precise launch window to share. We know you've been looking forward to ASA, and we're sorry to keep our console survivors waiting. Studio Wildcard. So on the surface, simple enough. We're not getting it this week. It's going to be looking like early next week, according to the announcement. However, there's a couple things that I see as I look at this that make me a bit concerned. Clearly, the current build of the game has failed. It will not pass certification. Otherwise, they would just say it's taking longer to get certified, this, that, or the other. But what they're literally saying is that they have to resubmit the build to Xbox. So they're having to fix whatever issues are going on, repackage it, and resubmit it for another review. It would indicate to me that this game, in its current state, is essentially unplayable on console, or it can't pass the certification process. Now, look, I've played games like No Man's Sky when it first launched, or Cyberpunk, or Redfall. Those games were in bad shape. This is essentially saying it's in worse shape because it can't even get onto the store. It's not a real good thing. It makes me nervous. Tonight, as of recording this, I was able to hop on my sister's computer to get a couple hours on ASA, and I was not impressed. Admittedly, I don't know if it was a server I was on. I was playing on the Beach Bob's Ascended server. I don't know if it was something going on with the server today, if it was a internet issue, or if it was the game itself. It does not look better now than it did on the very first day. In fact, what you're going to see, the footage overlaying this, is footage from that gameplay. I don't think it looks better today. I'm worried that this is just an ongoing issue. I'm worried that they're going to launch this game, or they're going to continue to try to get through certification, find new bugs, find new things that are causing the game to fail. I am concerned that this game is not in a playable condition at any level. Or what could be even worse is that it just doesn't run on the Series X or the Series S. That this game is too much for our next-gen consoles in the current optimization. I'm not sure what's going on here. I have my concerns. I would love to be optimistic that we're going to actually hear something in the crunch about a release date. I would be optimistic to think that it's going to come out next week and be ready to go. Maybe it was a simple fix. We don't really know, obviously. We just know what was stated in this, but it's not ideal. For my Sony friends, there's not much here. I don't know this. I haven't done any research on the PlayStation certification process. I'll have to look into that. But it's essentially looking like they're on track to launch at the end of the month. But there's a couple words in here that made me nervous. This will update you as we make more meaningful progress. Not exactly sure what meaningful progress really means, and that they don't have a precise launch window. So the state of Ark Survival Ascended on console is not good right now. It's in a bad state. It's unfortunate. I'm going to try to stay optimistic. I like to be an optimistic person, and I try to have high hopes for these games. But right now, this is looking a little bleak. The game has essentially failed certification. Or rather, they didn't say it failed. They said it didn't pass, but they have to resubmit a new build, which would indicate I think, a pretty decent sized issue that it's not just a quick fix. But hopefully they can get that done quickly and get this thing going. Sony, I'm not sure what the holdup is. At this point, though, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I would be okay if Studio Wildcard came out today and said, we're looking at a December 5th launch of the game for both Sony and Xbox. And I just made up a date. I don't even know what day of the week the 5th is, but just a day in December. We're going to get you guys together. We're going to release this on the same day. Consoles, PlayStation and Xbox on the same day, December whatever 5th. And that's going to be the launch day. And this game is going to come out at that point. And then they work towards that. I would be okay with that. Because at this point, when you really look at it, today's Wednesday. How much more information are we going to get Thursday or Friday? Next week is Thanksgiving. The week after that is the end of November. I mean, we're talking about working with 14 to 17 days. We don't have much time before the end of November. I really hope that they don't continue just to say next week, and it just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. But right now, it's definitely not in the best position. Hopefully, they surprise us and get this game out a little bit sooner, but I'm certainly not holding my breath at this point for release of ASA on either console in November. If it's going to be November, I think if it's going to be November, it's going to be the end of November. And at that point, both consoles should just launch at the same time and let's move forward. But guys, not great. Sound off in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think. I know, admittedly, maybe this doesn't hurt me as much because I do have the ability to go over to my sister's house, which is, difficult for me to coordinate and get done and get a few hours on ASA. But this definitely sets back some of the plans I had for my content, what I was trying to do with this channel. It is frustrating. It is challenging. But let's try it, guys. Let's try to stay cordial. Let's try to, you can give them the anger, the backlash. You can walk away. You can say you're not going to buy the game. But let's leave the vulgarities or threats out of this one. But guys, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, please do hit that subscribe button. Leave those thumbs up. We're having a lot of fun. I'm excited for what's going to come on the channel. And until next time, have a wonderful day.